the headlines. Bus truck collision kills 2, injures many in Lagos. Police arrest Rivers governorship aspirant declared wanted by Governor Wike over cultism-related activities. Terrorists release photo of baby born in captivity after Kaduna-Abuja train attack. Russian missiles injure 10 people during UN chief's visit. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and a warm welcome. 2 persons have been confirmed dead in a multiple accident involving 6 vehicles along Ikorodu Road in Lagos. It was gathered that the victims were returning from mile 12 where they had gone to buy goods when the accident occurred around 2 a.m. on Friday. Daily Trust learned that 2 persons, a man and a woman, died on the spot while one of the corpses was taken to a morgue by the Lagos State Environmental Health Monitoring Unit. The Lagos Territorial Head of the National Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Fariloye, who confirmed the accident, said the family members of the second victim came to the scene to carry her corpse. Chief of Defense Staff General Leo Irabo has urged security agencies to continue to review the various mechanisms devised to address security threats in the country. General Irabo spoke on Thursday as he paid a courtesy visit to the Nigeria Police Force headquarters in Abuja in a bid to boost interagency synergy between the military and police. Sagir Ibrahim reports.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Leo Irabo, in his remarks explained that the courtesy visit had become imperative to boost the interagency synergy between the Nigerian police force and the military, owing to the peculiar insecurity challenges currently faced by the nation.
We believe that the time has come for us to begin to look at new avenues to be able to improve on our efficiency, the level of our efficiency in handling these issues. That's the reason why I have come today.
He also called on the Nigeria Police Force to rise up to the occasion by adopting new methods of addressing security-related issues.
The IG, along with his team, have done incredibly well within limits, of course, of the issues and resources available in terms of manpower, and of course, in the light of the challenge and the space within which we are operating. Threats all over the world remain very dynamic, and in our space, Nigeria, there are transformations of these threats in various dimensions. And so what it requires is for us to continuously review the mechanisms of addressing them.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, in his response, assured the Chief of Defense Staff of the full cooperation of the police and expressed optimism towards the return of the military to its statutory responsibilities.
The Nigerian Army or the Nigerian military can come to the assistance of the civil authority or the civil police, which I like to call national police, in terms of securing this country. So also the Nigeria police also has mandate constitutionally and also in our own police act to even call upon to perform military duties. And therefore, I think we are sisters, brothers, and at the same time, we have the same father and mother. We really hope that there will be a time when we will have the military will really go back to its statutory responsibilities and ensure that other agencies that are in charge of safety and security of the nation also perform their duties without actually overstretching the military.
Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
Police operatives in Katsina have repelled an attack by terrorists at Marina, Garinzaki, Kadage and Elsamia villages in Safana, Batsari, Kurfi and Musa local government areas of the state. One terrorist was neutralized and 3 kidnapped female victims were rescued during the operation. 3 AK-47 rifles with 15 rounds of 7.62 mm live ammunition and 2 operational motorcycles of the terrorists were recovered. The police spokesman, SP Gamba Isa, who disclosed this in a statement on Thursday, assured that the police will continue to deal decisively with terrorists until they are all brought to book. The Nigerian police have arrested a governorship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, declared wanted by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. Governor Wike had asked the police to arrest Farah Dagogo, the lawmaker representing Degema Boni Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, over activities related to cultism. The lawmaker was arrested by a team of police officers at about 6:30 p.m. on Thursday when he went for a screening at the South-South Zonal Office of the PDP in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Journalists were, however, barred by the fully armed security operatives from covering the arrest of the governorship aspirant, who is a beneficiary of the federal government's amnesty granted to militants in the Niger Delta. Now, terrorists who abducted passengers of Abuja-Kaduna bound train last month have released a picture of a baby born by a woman in captivity. The woman was said to be 8 months pregnant at the time of the abduction. The picture of the baby, released Wednesday evening by terrorists suspected to be a breakaway group of Boko Haram and Ansaru, surfaced online. The captors had earlier in the week released the pictures of captives. Elsewhere, Chairman of Lantern North local government area of Plateau State, Ubandoma Joshua Laven, said the recent killings in Kanam local government area of the state would have been averted if the state government had acted swiftly on intelligence reports. Laven, who spoke to newsmen at the Yakubu Gowon Airport, just said the state government ignored his warning that terrorists were already in the forest, mountains, hinterland and camping in other places.
There are crashes already going on the plateau before my alarm. There's a Basa Irigwe going on for a very long time where commuters were killed, about 25 of them, isn't it? Such thing can be avoided. But because the government does not have, they don't care about life and property. All they care is when it happens, they want to take action. When it happens, you cannot protect, you cannot be proactive to prevent it before it happens. So in my own case, I must give it to the STS, who is the Professor Ladiatu, who is very prompt always when I was still an active chairman. He calls for security council meeting with the local government chairman and give us information. And it's left for the local government chairman to go back and do their due diligence, which in the process of me doing my diligence, I discovered that those terrorists have invaded our land. And when I discovered them, I collaborated with the local security. And the local security confirmed it. But instead of the government to call me, where did I get my information from? They were busy debunking it. I have an evidence of how the people were migrated into our various territories from Wasi to the dengue axis. I said it. They debunked it, but the security have the report. And the security now said, don't mind, let us continue to protect what we know. Now, 4 months later, Wasi was hit. And after the 9 months now, both Christians and Muslims and everybody were near me in the canal. It's not about religion, it's not about ethnicity. It's about let us protect ourselves. Security is everybody's business.
And Dan Manjak said Laven's claims were just the figments of his imagination. The commissioner stressed that government had done a lot on security, pointing out that the attacks were not peculiar to Plateau State or the nation, but were a worldwide phenomenon. Over 150 people were killed and about 5,000 others displaced by terrorists who invaded 8 communities in Kanam. Zamfara State government has arraigned the 2 deposed emirs at the state's chief magistrate court presided by Justice Saadu Garba. The first and second class monarchs were arraigned on a 5-count charge bordering on criminal conspiracy, withholding of evidence, illegal possession of property and alliance with bandits. Counsels to the two emirs objected to the jurisdiction of the Chief Magistrate Court to entertain the case, citing Law Number 7 of Zamfara State 2019, which stipulates that all persons who proclaim Islamic faith cannot be tried at the Magistrate Court except the Sharia Court. The case was thereafter transferred to the Upper Sharia Court 1, Samoruguso, where the presiding judge, Justice Hadi Sani, listened to the application for bail by defense counsels. The presiding judge granted the two monarchs bails on health grounds, age since they've been in detention for about 10 to 11 months.
The Director of Public Prosecution and the prosecutor of the court, he heard the charges and they were read to them. They, as usual, normally they vehemently denied all the charges against them and they proclaimed their innocence. Thereupon we applied for their bail. We informed the court that they've been in detention for more than 10 weeks now, without being with their family, without being with the people who are dependent on them. And considering their age-wise and their health, we moved that application. Though the DPP objected to our application on some grounds, he really challenged the law under which we can, because we come under Section 301 sub 2 ABC of the Sharia Civil Criminal Procedure Code. He challenged that. However, the judge, in his own wisdom, agreed with us. He saw that having spent 10 months without being charged before any court, without their family, with their age and their health, he saw that really they should be checked out. And he was convinced by our argument that none of them being the emir, like the emir of Sado, he was appointed on July, on the 23rd of July 2000. He spent 22 years on the throne. The emir of July, later than that. There is no way they could jump in. There could no way they could leave their people. He is leading an emirate of more than 1.something million. There's no way he can leave his family of 30 something and leave his emirate. So the court agreed with us that really they should be there. So they even have made it. The next action now, the case is adjourned to the 26th of May. Subject to the convenience of the court and all the counsel, we agreed that we should be on here so that we can start bringing their evidence.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up, how donkey business thrives in Mayadua Market. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Our top stories. Bus truck collision kills 2, injures many in Lagos. Police arrest Rivers governorship aspirant declared wanted by Governor Wike over cultism-related activities. Still ahead, President Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to use every legitimate means to protect the votes of Nigerians during the 2023 general elections. The president spoke Thursday at an iftar dinner with members of the diplomatic corps. He advised those planning to rig the 2023 general elections to perish the thought. Buhari, while addressing the Russia-Ukraine conflict, called for greater consideration for humanitarian conditions in the affected areas in the ongoing crisis. Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and High Commissioner of Cameroon to Nigeria, Ibrahima Salahede, pledged that the international community would continue to support Nigeria before, during, and after the forthcoming general elections.
Committed to bequeathing a stronger culture of credible elections to Nigeria than I met. Those planning to rig the forthcoming election should think twice, because I intend to resolutely protect and defend the sacred will of the Nigerian people to be expressed through the ballot box. As Nigeria goes through this trajectory, I urge our friends in the global community, represented by you, the diplomatic corps, to adopt a positive role that reinforces the doctrine of respect for our internal affairs and the respect for facts and void of preconceived notions and bias.
Mr. President, as we enter an electoral year, we pray Allah to put the process under His divine guidance for peaceful, free, and fair elections. Please be assured that the international community will support your government to achieve a hitch-free election. The support will come before election, during election, and after election. Be assured of that, Mr. President.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has reiterated his desire to serve the country as president if given the opportunity to do so. Osinbajo stated this when he visited the Asagba of Asaba, Professor Chike Edozien, in a continuation of his consultations ahead of the 2023 presidential race. He said he can lead the nation because he has been exposed to various areas of governance in the last 7 years. On his part, the Asagba of Asaba, Professor Chike Edozien, said tackling insecurity should be paramount for the country to move forward.
Serving in that capacity, but on occasion also as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is, in my view, divine that God has enabled me to serve in this position and to be exposed to practically all of the hard work and complexities of the nation this size and a federation that has all of the different textures that ours has.
It's a real problem. Every day you check up the newspapers, insecurity everywhere. We used to think it's the northern border, but now it's everywhere. Anambra State, Imo State, Delta State, everywhere. So this insecurity, we just have to deal with it if we want the country to move forward.
Now, the need to leverage on the ongoing constitution amendments to enhance good governance and service delivery at the subnational level was the focus of a round-table meeting attended by top media practitioners and other stakeholders. Organized by Partnership to Enhance Reform and Learn in collaboration with Democracy Vanguard, the meeting provided opportunity for senior journalists to reflect on contemporary governance challenges and reforms in the country, especially at the sub-national level. Hamid Oyegbadi files on the report.
The National Assembly on the 1st of March passed the Constitution Amendment Bills granting autonomy to local government councils across the country. These bills grant full financial and administrative autonomy to local governments so that each local council can run its affairs independently and effectively. The bills were transmitted to the State Houses of Assembly in the first week of April for ratification. The bills require the concurrence of at least 24 State Houses of Assembly to become law. As part of efforts to raise awareness among citizens on the ongoing Constitution amendment and educate them on the benefits of good governance at local government level, the role of the media in strengthening governance came to the fore at the round table. The managing director and editor-in-chief of the Guardian newspaper, Martins Oloja, urged journalists in the country to play the watchdog role effectively.
So you see the issue here today about the local government. Local government is a failure in Nigeria, and that's supposed to be the most important, whether it is tier of government or level or whatever you call it. Because as Tip O'Neill, a former Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States, stated in a very graphic form, in a seminal way, said, all politics is local.
Ambassador Jerry Ugokwe of Democracy Vanguard said devolution of power to local government level will aid good governance.
We want power to be devolved to the local governments, i.e. the local government will have the autonomy, both administrative and financial, so that they will do the right thing for the people at the local government levels.
The Chief of Staff to the Deputy Senate President, Dr. Otive Igbozo, said since most citizens live at local levels, real governance should happen at local government.
We know that Nigeria is having huge challenges today. Challenges of security, challenges of infrastructure, challenges of public services like education, health and water. Now, if there is effectiveness at all levels of governance, especially at the local level, then these services will be provided to the people through policy, through budget and delivery mechanism.
The head of governance, British High Commission, Sam Waldock, said UK is proud to support democracy in Nigeria and happy with the progress made on constitution reform.
Now, May Adua International Border Market serves as an exchange point between Nigeria and Niger Republic and is one of the biggest livestock markets in northwestern Nigeria today. The market is a Sunday affair which facilitates the trade of a huge volume of cattle, sheep, goats, donkeys, horses and camels, mostly from Niger Republic. On the side, there is also a bustling trade of assorted grains such as maize, millet, sorghum, and soybeans. Abdullah Yamadi visited the donkey section of the market and tells us more.
The hustle begins as early as 7 a.m. every Sunday, where families and merchants assemble donkeys for prospective buyers. On a typical market day like this, 3 years ago, 4,000 to 5,000 donkeys would be on sale. These days, only a little over 400 donkeys are brought for sale. Several factors account for this. For one, the decision to allow forces of demand and supply to determine the value of the naira has grossly affected the spending value of the Nigerian currency. On the other hand, the ban on Chinese merchants from the business has led to a drastic fall in volume of donkeys traded.
So the
high cost of donkeys we're experiencing now is as a result of border closure. You see, we're importing these donkeys from the Niger Republic. Most of these animals you are seeing, donkeys, camels, horses are being imported from Niger Republic. That's why we are experiencing this high cost of donkeys. And we hope this border will be opened. The dealers here allay fears of possible extinction of donkeys if the Chinese merchants are allowed to trade directly in it. The size of the donkey business is also decreasing because of the increasing spate of insecurity, which has forced many merchants from other parts of Nigeria, such as Ebonyi, Enugu, and Delta states, out of the market. Merchants from the eastern part of Nigeria buy donkeys mainly for consumption and sell the skin to Chinese merchants, while others buy it for transportation on other utilities. The longest serving donkeys trader in this part of the country, and if you give me 10 million naira now, I will put it into this business, because there's nothing I have not gotten in this business. I bought houses, I bought farms, I married wives, and I have done everything. I have sponsored my children to tertiary institutions of learning. Prices of donkeys here vary depending on the breed and the size. For instance, the least price is 70,000 naira, while the highest is between 100 to 150,000 naira. These children and the animals feed dealers make a brisk business from the sale of water and feeds. Once it is 4 p.m., people start assembling the donkeys inside these trailers for onward transportation to the southeastern part of Nigeria. The business employs hundreds of people. That is why government is required to protect investment of both donkeys traders and dealers in the sector. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Kazana.
And on the foreign scene, Palestinian Red Crescent says at least 42 Palestinians have been injured in a raid by Israeli police forces on the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem following weeks of violence at the flashpoint site. The unrest came on the final Friday of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Most of those injured suffered upper body injuries and 22 people had been taken to hospital. Israeli police said forces entered the compound after rioters hurled stones and fireworks, including down towards the Western Wall, the sacred Jewish site below Al-Aqsa. Police said 3 people had been arrested, 2 for throwing stones and 1 for inciting the mob. And that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Have a lovely day.